guys, Work here. Welcome back to the bench. Today we've got something that's been in the works for you for quite a while now, and that is this. The Reptile slide from Norsso for the P10c. Let's hit it. So for those of you who've been watching the channel for a little bit, I got this Norsso slide months ago. And you may be asking why it's taken me this long to review this slide. And that is because I test this stuff out in pretty much real time. And I want to make sure that I get enough rounds through the stuff that I test for you guys to let you know truly what you're getting. So first up, let's hit a couple of the basics. The Norsso slide is a 100% made from scratch aftermarket slide for the CZ P10c. Now they do also have products for Glock and SIG, but in this case we're just talking about this, the P10c model. A couple of the features that Norsso packs this slide full of are a very high-grade stainless steel. This is not the low-grade machinable stainless steel that we're used to seeing on a lot of firearms products. This stuff is 17.4 stainless steel, used in heavy marine applications due to its crazy corrosion resistance, and is used in turbine engines due to its strength and heat range. Now, this is not the easiest material to machine, but Norso's willing to take that hit on their machining and tooling costs to get us a better product. Now, the coating that they're using is a black nitride coating, and with the P10c slides, that nitride option is pretty much the only option you're going to get. You're not going to get a whole lot of colors, which is one of the downsides with this. You're stuck with black. Now, for the sights on top of them, I'm going to hold this up here just a second, and you can see that this thing has co-witnessing sights with our dot here. Now, the slide that I got is an optics ready model. And the optics ready models come with co-witnessing sights. That's right, this has blacked out co-witnessing sights that work awesome with my Holosun 507C here. Now, the sight cuts, the front sight cut is a CZ sight cut. The rear sight cut, however, is a Glock sight cut, meaning that you can mismatch CZ fronts with Glock rears and make pretty much any sight combination that you want to set up on this. Now, that being said, Norsso does eventually plan on swapping this out for the standard P10 optic ready sight and producing their own sights for the optics ready models. But for now, business has just been insane with trying to keep up with their slide orders. They just haven't had the machining time to be able to do that. Now, as I said, mine is an optics ready model, and the CZ optics ready model currently only comes with the RMR option. Now, Glocks do offer more mounting options, but I think they got the choice right with just offering the RMR. If you're gonna bust out into this market and you're gonna offer a dot offering, then you need to have it be an RMR footprint. The RMR footprint has, in my opinion, the most versatile wide range of sight options. You've got the RMR itself, you've got the SRO for the competition guys, and for those cheapskates like me, you've got the option of the Holosuns, which in my opinion are the best bang for the buck optic out there right now. Now, they do come with a plate cover, so if you buy an optic ready one and you aren't quite ready to put that optic on yet, it comes with a very, very nice machined plate for the top of it. You can see this plate is actually pretty thick, and that's because they sink that dot down nicely into the slide. It is not one of those dots that's like just barely into the slide. This thing is sunk down underneath the surface to get it nice and as flush as they can get it. Now, I say that this thing is 100% made from scratch, but it is reverse engineered on the internals. So all of the stock internals work, which is both a pro and a con. So here's the deal. When you buy a Norsso slide, you're going to spend about $450 on it. Now, I do have a 5% discount code that's work the trigger. Again, that's 5%, and that will get you 5% off of that $450. But still, $450 is pretty steep. What you get for $450 is the bare slide with your plate on there. Now, what that means, no internals. You don't even get an ejector, so you do have to swap all of that over. Now, I do have a couple of videos about that. I'll link them in the video here, but that is a negative. You are getting an extra slide, but you're not getting spare internals. That means no striker, no extractor, no back plate. All of those are going to have to be transferred from your old slide. That being said, the transfer process is very smooth. There is one component that isn't transferable, and that is the pin that holds in the extractor, and they do include 2 of those pins in with the slide purchase itself, so you don't have to go find the right length of pin. Now that we've covered the features on this thing, let's let's talk about the fit and finish a little bit. This thing is made very well. It is a very cleanly cut piece. The lines on these Reptile slides are really, really nice. It's just enough to set it off, but not overly gaudy. It's not like those warthog snouts that were the fad on some of those Gucci Glocks for a while. The Reptile slide is what I would call tasteful. They look really good with a nice titanium nitrided barrel in there, but again, it's not too much. My only complaint for the fit and finish is that the rear serrations on here were slightly off from my plate. So the lines on the cover plate, if you look here, the cover plate's got its own little serrations on there, didn't quite match up with the slide. So when I was running it without an optic, with just that cover plate on, there was a difference in there, and there was a little jog between the serrations in the cover plate and the serrations in the slide. Everything else is beautiful, and with that cover plate off and the optic on, you can't even tell that those serrations are slightly off. Branding on the Norsso slide, very subtle as well. It's just their simple name right there, and that's it. It's not some crazy big design. It's not in your face. It's just there saying, hey, here I am. I'm awesome. Next up, let's get into use a little bit. If you notice while looking at my P10 here, it's dirty. And that's because I use my P10 a lot. This slide has somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 rounds through it, including about 500 rounds at a class with condition red response in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So through all of those, we'll just call it 1,500 rounds. We'll go on the low end. I have had exactly one malfunction, and that is a failure to eject. We were running a course at training. It was a weekend only around a barrier. I got too close to the barrier. I don't know if I touched the barrier or what. I probably limp wristed, but I did have a failure to extract. I could tell it right away when the trigger didn't reset. I tap racked and everything worked perfectly after that. So 1,500 rounds, one malfunction while firing weak hand. I'd say that's a pretty damn good success rate. Everything else about this slide has been fantastic. These forward cocking serrations grab onto your fingers like no cocking serrations I have ever felt before. Now, here is my stock slide. By the way, this has no mag, no rounds. So in the original video for my Norsso slide here, I said that the rear cocking serrations were very much like stock. And I still feel like the angles are a lot like stock, but I do have my stock slide here, and you can see the cocking serrations on the stock slide are quite a bit closer together than those on the Norsso slide. Now you can feel that when you're actually grabbing to rack the slide. It's just the slightest little bit of change. I don't know whether it reduces the grip enough to actually be a problem, but remember, this is an optics ready model, and the majority of the time when you're grabbing this to be able to manipulate from the back, you're actually grabbing the dot, not the serrations. That's on fast slide manipulations. On slower slide manipulations on my dot guns, I typically grab up here and use the pinch method on the front serrations, which is why I make such a big deal about the quality of these front serrations. They are very, very simple to get a nice, good hold of, and you can pull them back from almost any angle. Other than that, the Norsso slide has almost been boringly perfect. It runs an optic great. I've had no backing out. I've had no zeroing issues. I put this Holosun on there once, tightened it down, and I have not touched it since. The backup sights are spot on. They are a little bit on the short side for full quick use with the dot on the gun. You can just see about 3/16 of an inch or so of sight up above the dot. Now part of that is because I'm running a Holosun and the Holosun base is a little bit tall, but they are serviceable sights all the same if my dot goes out. Barrel fitment has been perfect, and accuracy has been the same laser accuracy that I got before I put the slide in. So let's give a quick rundown through my pros and cons of the Norsso slide. Pros: excellent serrations on the front. They are significantly better than stock, and stock was pretty damn good. It comes with co-witnessing sights. Something that I want to bring up here at the very end is what a comparable from another company might cost you. And those sights you've got to take into account, because sights are not cheap. Next up, high quality stainless steel. The stainless steel that they use on these is not the lower quality stuff. It is not going to corrode like some of the lower quality stainlesses do. and it's significantly stronger. It's got an excellent surface finish that's going to up that corrosion factor even more and not wear on use, and it has been perfectly reliable. Now, some of the cons are that slight mismatch between my slide serrations and the top plate serrations. It doesn't come with internal components, so you do have to transfer your components over from your old to your new. Again, as I said earlier, the only color is black, and lastly is the price. So as I said, the Norsso slide can be had for $450, which seems like a lot, and it is a lot if you're just buying it to put a dot on your gun. If that's the only purpose, then I would not suggest upping to a Norsso slide. I would suggest sending your slide out and getting it milled. What the Norsso slide adds is that high quality material, so you're gonna get a better product. You get a second slide. You're not sending your slide in to get machined. You get a full from scratch built second slide. You get these co-witnessing sights, which are at least $100 upcharge anywhere you go. And you get forward cocking serrations on both the sides, the top. You get the little portholes here that you can see the barrel through. You get optics ready and fantastic reliability. Now, the reason that I bring up all of these other things, the portholes, the top serrations, the front serrations, the sights, is because a similar setup from Primary Machine, which is one of the bigger producers of aftermarket cut slides for the P10, would run you about $550. That's right, it's about $100 more. Now, I do believe that you actually get the slide in that case. You don't have to necessarily send your slide in to get machined or return it as a core, but it is a stock modified slide. So you're looking at the same materials as stock, you're looking at the same base as stock, whereas this is a made from scratch new slide. So if you're looking at something like the Omen 2 slide from Primary Machine, you really should give the Norsso a look, because this might be a better option. If you want to go all out with your P10 and you really want to crank up those awesome factors, check out Norsso. I think you'll like what you find. So that's it, guys. That is the review, finally, of the Reptile slide from Norsso for the CZ P10c. Remember, guys, if you found this video useful, go ahead and like and subscribe down below. If you like what we do here and you want to help out, go visit our Patreon page. That's patreon.com/workthetrigger. If you've got any opinions about the Norsso slide, any other aftermarket slides for CZs, anything I should look at, or things that I forgot to bring up, go ahead and write those in the comments down below. Remember, guys, I appreciate every one of you, and until next time, do your research, get informed, and get to work.